Hey, what's up, fam? Hey, once again, thank y'all for tuning in. As always, be sure to like, share, subscribe, comment. And when you do subscribe, hit that notification bell. So every time I drop a video, you will be the first to be notified. Today I want to bring a story. It's a sad story, but kind of a strange story too. And it's about a young Instagram model who was found murdered in her apartment, about a week or so ago. And the story out there is saying that she was killed by a stalker. But let me hit you with the story, read my notes, and then I'm gonna give you my take on it. So the story goes, a young lady named Janae Gagner, aka Miss Mercedes Morr, was found dead in her apartment in Richmond, Texas, which is near Houston. She had nearly 3 million followers on Instagram. I think it was around about 2.7 million followers on Instagram. They believe she was killed by 34-year-old Kevin Corto, who they said last known address was in Florida. Now, if you go on most of the media sites, they'll tell you this, and they begin and end with that, and you're thinking, man, why did dude come way from Florida and kill this woman? Must have been a stalker. Must have followed her on Instagram or whatever. Now, you know, people trying to say that maybe he was a sugar daddy and killed her and, whatever. It is what it is, whatever. But when you read, go to other news sites, that some of them will tell you that he once lived in Wellington, which is, around the Richmond, Texas area, and Royal Palm Beach, and his parents still live in Wellington. So most likely he was probably living with his parents. Or, who knows? He's probably there with his parents. Let's say detectives believe that he strangled, Miss Gagner before stabbing himself. Now, he was found with a knife in his neck by Sister Janae's father. Now, father found a body after not hearing from his daughter for several days. Keep that point in your head. He said, got to the apartment. I guess he saw that she wasn't answering the door. The door was locked. Maybe a car was outside. So he said he didn't hesitate to kick in the door. Understood. He said he saw his daughter at the bottom of the stairs, clothes all torn, dead. And then went upstairs and saw the accused murderer up there with a knife in his neck, still alive. So he said it says no motive. They said no motive for the killing. So the first question that I have is, sad story, Most High bless the dead. The guy was still alive when the father saw him, but the father is putting out in every news outlet that this was a stalker. The guy who stalked my daughter, killed her, and he killed himself. I want the world to know this story. Now, they say people mourn in different ways. And the way he looked on the video, on the news stories, he didn't look like, what people assume people should act. But I know people who have family members, children who have been murdered. And their reaction, a lot of times, is not what TV, what Hollywood will show you it would be. Sometimes it is, sometimes it's very dramatic. Over the top, you may say. And then sometimes people don't know how to express emotions. Don't know when to express emotions. Kind of like, if you ever seen the show Good Times, when James Evans died in Good Times. And Florida was nice to everybody and smiling, and the kids didn't understand what was going on. And then once everybody left and she was by herself and, threw that bowl down and, and released it. I mean, it's just something, that's a true way of how it happens a lot of times. But with that said, like I said, I mean, shoot, I'm gonna say it like this here. If I was a dad, I ain't heard from my daughter. Went to the apartment, went to a house, saw a car, door was locked, wasn't answering the door. Yeah, I probably kicked the door in too. Saw a dude in there, saw my daughter dead. Yeah, that dude would have committed suicide too. That's all I'm saying, you know. And you know what I'm saying? But really, even if he didn't commit suicide, you know what I'm saying? If my daughter wasn't walking out alive, he wouldn't be either. So, I mean, it is what it is. But the thing about it is, if you haven't heard from your daughter in a couple of days, and then you go in there and the guy's still living, then there must be something mentally wrong with this dude. Because was he still living there? You know, how long has she been dead? A couple of days? Did they have her tied up? You know, or whatever the case may be. There is no story. Now, usually with these stories, when you have them folk committing crimes against our people, first thing they say is this dude has a history of mental illness, but that was not released to the public. All they said is the only run-ins with the laws he had in his past were like traffic tickets, and that's it. So they're not still there. So they're not saying he was crazy or had a history of being crazy. This age must have been, let's say, just stalked. Then they said that they didn't have a relationship. But you just wonder. But this is a story that I hope does not die, because I want to know. This is something that everybody has to hear about, especially all these Instagram models, especially all these, these people who live, what I'm saying, in this sexualized business. I remember years ago, rapper Pimp C, he said pimping ain't dead, it just moved to the website. And that's exactly where it's moved to. Sexually oriented businesses have moved to the internet. And it's big money, and everybody wants to get involved. As long as they're able to do it safely, you got what they say, everybody. The joke goes that every woman has fantasies of dancing on a pole. A lot of them just ain't gonna do it, or don't want to, just not gonna have, I ain't gonna say courage, but just not gonna do it. They're not gonna get in front of all these strange men, let strange men look at them and touch on them, stuff like that. But the internet is something different. The internet, you can do it in the privacy of your own home, take pictures, do poses, get paid pretty decent money for it. And this young lady was 33 years old. You know what I'm saying? She was good looking for her age. Whether it's 100% natural or however she came about it, still had to have to work out to even keep your body slim. So she looked pretty good, you know what I'm saying? And so you can understand that 2.7 million followers, all of them are not going to be single, God-fearing men that own businesses or work 40 hours a day, working hard in construction, or or white collar in a suit and tie. You're not going to get that. You're going to get a lot of crazy people. You get crazy people, and when you're not famous, you get these crazy people who will sit there and follow you and stalk you just because you look good. They feel you look good, and they'll try everything they can, try to holler at you. And then when you don't holler at them, first thing they want to do is cuss a woman out, call out a name, and beat them up, and sometimes shoot and stab them because they get turned down. So this is why a lot of these women go to the internet and do what they do, so they ain't got to interact with people. So the question is, was this guy one of her followers on Instagram or on OnlyFans? Because you got some people that get a misunderstanding, really thinking that these women should go to strip club. Women talk nice to you, dance in front of you, talk, listen to your problems, make you think that they really care. But they really don't. It's part of their job. You give them that $20 and then walk off and go to the next man and do it. But sometimes you got one guy sitting there thinking, man, that girl really, really listens to me, really understands me. That means he got a messed up life at the house. But anyway, so a couple of points I want to bring up. One, she had both parents. When you say that, you're going to have some people that say, see, you can have both parents and your daughter, still end up, on OnlyFans or Instagram models, tooting it up. Well, nothing is 100%, saying satisfactory. Never will be. But what you do know is that if you want to increase the chances of your kids, your family being successful, being productive members of society, not being criminals, not being addicts, whatever the case may be, it's always best to have both parents, two parents, on the same page, being positive, influences and role models to their children, so that kids can go out there and display the same type of behavior in the world. When you create that atmosphere, you create a better community, But like I said, nothing is 100%. You will have those who will fall by the wayside and not turn back. Even with two-parent households, kids will do what they want to do. Eventually, they will turn and understand, like, hey, this is the way to go. This is not the way to go. I don't know how long this young lady was on Instagram. I don't know her backstory. Nobody knows her backstory. She got both parents, but we don't know what kind of, we don't know if the parents were like abusive, or if they went to church, or if they were strict if they were strict with her. Shoot, I knew girls that would say they were strict. Dad was strict on them. They couldn't do nothing growing up, but the moment they got out the house, they became wild child. Were doing all kind of stuff out there on them streets. Ran straight to the streets once they got from under their parents. But as time went on, they got a little older. They settled down, but so that happens. But you got the term preacher kids. Preacher kids, preachers say be strictest people in the world, and their kids turn out crazy. Well, they're kids. So they didn't have really a chance to do. They didn't have a chance to do nothing. But yeah, they're gonna get out there and try to do something. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, they're gonna go out there and try to do something. So anyway, number two, like I say, my thing is, why didn't the dude, try to kill the dad? He had a knife. He already killed his daughter. Somebody kicked in the door. If he's crazy, and your dad kicked in the door, you just gonna run upstairs and kill yourself? I can say that. They didn't understand that part of the story. They don't understand that part of the story at all. But that's why you always gotta get your news from different sources. Because like I said, one source say the man's he's from Florida, so make you think he somehow flew, walked all the way to Florida just to kill this woman. Some stories want to say that maybe he was they had a sugar daddy, relationship, but there's no validity to that. So you gotta read different stories, and you can put. That's how you do research. When you talk about any topic, anything that you have a question about, never read from one book, never watch one video, never read one news article. Go to, I say, at least anywhere from 3 to 7 minimum, different sources before you create your own. Before you create your own opinion. And then you got people like Cardi B, who's mad at people because people saying like, oh, this woman is dead because of her lifestyle. We don't know if she's dead because of her lifestyle or not. I mean, we can speculate because that's what the world knows as. It's the word, that's what they knew her for. Instagram and OnlyFans. But Cardi B is the last person I feel who should be commenting on this story, because this woman here promotes the behavior of getting the bag by any means necessary, doing anything you have to do to secure the bag, sexually, deviantly. Spoke in an interview about drugging men, robbing them, and then tricking them and bringing in transvestites into the room to have sex with them while the dudes are knocked out. Talked about that, but said she had to do that in order to make it. You didn't have to do that. You chose to take that route. There were harder routes you could have taken. You might not have became Cardi B, the rapper. You might have became whatever your name is, Cardi B, school teacher, Cardi B, the CNA. I don't know, Cardi B, the Uber driver. I don't know, but you might have been Cardi B, the rapper. You know what I'm saying? As soon as you became it, but you did not have to do things like that. But again, you promote this behavior, and the problem is, as soon as you promote, it's like somebody promoting gang violence. What if somebody promote drug dealing, and then folks go out there and get killed, and it's like the drug dealer saying, "Man, y'all, y'all some blanketed blank ass people, B's and N's, because y'all talking down on this woman." Which again, no, they should not be talking, because like in the murder, man, that's everything. Everything should be just, everything's off table. But like I say, Cardi B, nah, you shouldn't be the one out there saying anything. And then for the parents to say that she was a big fan of Cardi B, man, that's not a good look either. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what nobody say. It ain't right. It ain't, it don't look good. Your daughter is known to be in a sex business. Whether she having sex with people or not, internet sex business. And she was killed. So before anybody make any statement, and then how do you, like I said, before anybody make any statement, I just say, hey, let the facts come out. That's all I would say. You know what? I wouldn't say anything about Cardi B. I wouldn't acknowledge her. You know what I'm saying? Whatever people I hear saying, all I would say is, just wait till the facts come out before we cast judgment. And that could be, and that's only fair. Then I also say the guy, the family is like adamant in saying that he was a stalker, that stalked their daughter, stalked her sister, and killed her. They're adamant about it. That's what they want you to know. But again, how do you know? We don't know. We don't know where he came from. That's why, like I said, that's why I hope the story does not die. Hope it stays in the news. Hope we go all the way to the end, to when the investigators come out with their final report. Hope they post it on the internet, because these young ladies need to know this world is not safe. This internet fame is not like old school real world Hollywood fame, because folks in Hollywood, they get famous, they make money, they live in areas where common folk can't get to them. They have security. They have security. They got houses with security gates. Got security guards, security dogs, security systems. They have drivers. They have people that go to the store for them. They can go to the store, have to wait and have the store shut down, the mall shut down, so they can go shopping. But they're sending people shopping for them. This internet thing, man, you got to do the same thing. Once you get a level of once you get to a level of a certain fame, you got to move different. A lot of these rappers will say the same. You hear them saying it all the time, man. You got to move different. You can rap about the hood and all your homies and your butt and your dudes you grew up with, dudes you blew up with, homies you grew up with. Shout out to Dr. Dre, but you can't hang like you used to. Like Story just did, that you're gonna see about Kodak Black. That cat out there, he in the hood. He goes to the hood, but he does positive things and in the community, but he don't still live in those projects. He doing food drive, charity basketball games, handing out AC units, but he don't stay in them same projects. But man, I tell you, he's been blessed to be able to give back. But you can't. But anyway, you just can't. Wherever you're at, you can't. Especially if you're from a place of not having a whole lot, and now you world famous. Internet famous makes you world famous. Internet famous makes you forever famous. Because no matter how old you get, or how much time goes by, your picture, your videos, everything else will be on the internet forever. And that youthful look that you have, or that you had, it's gonna always be there. And people gonna always look years later. So now you forever famous. You gotta move different. You gotta protect yourself. So my thing is, ladies, maybe she's gonna be the catalyst that's going to change how a lot of these folks move. You know, all these rap, like shoot, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, they rap about this stuff. You know, like I said, you know, rap about a certain lifestyle, but they have security around them. They don't walk to the store by themselves. You understand what I'm saying? They got people protecting their families. So, I mean, so they understand what it is out there. They don't understand what it's like out there. And so, like I say, the Instagram models, they gotta do the same thing. Anybody that's internet famous, like I said, that's forever famous, man. You gotta do the same thing no matter what. But hey, that's all I want to say about this story. I want to know what you think. Do you think like me that this is like a peculiar story, this whole murder? I mean, do you think this dude stalked her? Do you think they had a relationship? You think she might have been killed by somebody else? That possibly somebody got tired of her living this lifestyle and then saw her doing something in the act or whatever, and you know, lost it. It's a whole lot of angles that you know what I'm saying, that we can cover, but like I said, let me know what you think. But hey, as always, like I say, subscribe, share, like, comment. When you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the notification bell. Hey, if you want to help support the channel, hit the description box and click the link on the website so you can buy some merchandise. If you want to start, or if you already started a YouTube channel, hit that TubeBuddy link. It works wonders, and help you create videos and to find ways to get your videos out to more people. And with that being said, I leave y'all the same way that I came, and that's with peace.